you guys gonna get the footprint of the building? Yep. Okay, and then we get pictures and
yep.
Somebody's inventorying, like what's here, or is that what you're doing? Okay, good.
Bath?
Yeah.
The bathtub and the toilet
are going.
Hey, is there access to the cross?
And the oil tank's in the other, just if you look to the right, all the way to the right, you'll see it back there. It's turned on its side.
Yep, that's fine. Looking to take this down when?
Probably not till the...
Not until October?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when maybe you get one shot at a job site, right? You're bidding it and you visit it one time. Hopefully you only have to visit it one time. Why would you want to come back? So you try and gather all your information, you take all your pictures, and the pictures come in handy later perhaps when you forgot to write that down or whatever. You find out the conditions that you're going to be working in and what they're keeping and all that, and then but then you also try to sell yourself. You try to sell the service and say, like I had a booklet from a previous client, and we had sterilized it, meaning we took all the names and addresses out of it, so it was an actual folder, but it didn't have any of the information. We're not going to share other people's information with them. But what it had in it was we took pictures before, during, and after the project. So then we're telling the client, well, we know what we're going to expect. You just told us, but now you need to know what you should expect. You should expect this to be that sometimes it's going to be a little messy around here, and sometimes it's going to be a little dangerous for the little guy. But at other times, it's going to be pretty cool because you're going to go, wow, look at what they're doing. So they see the photos of a previous project, and they're like, hey, that's great. I didn't know you were going to go to that degree. And then I give them a copy of what somebody's tax deduction sheet looked like, and they can say, okay, geez, there's a cost to doing this, and there's a benefit to doing this. The cost is obvious. The benefit is the tax deduction. I get it. We had one where the guy, his son-in-law, was a demolition contractor, and he's getting rid of his building. Well, his son-in-law said, hey, I'll do the job for free. All you have to pay for is the disposal costs. That's all I want. I just don't want to incur any costs, right? And that's fair. And nobody's going to beat that price. He's doing it for free. So then I came in, and it just happened to work out that it was metal roofing, and it had lots of paneling, and it had nice siding, and it had instead of a regular frame floor, it had a beam and car decking floor. It's like cha-ching, cha-ching, right? My inventory list is looking pretty good, and my disposal percentage is going down, 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 right? Because there's no roofing to throw away or recycle, and there's no vinyl tile to rip up or anything like that. So by the end of it, what the appraiser ended up doing is coming up with an amount that offset all of the costs of deconstruction, so it ended up being a net cost of $0 to have their house deconstructed. And because even though the guy was really skeptical, even though his son-in-law was going to do the work for free, he still had us do it because you can't beat $0. That his son-in-law couldn't beat $0. 18 days ago, I purchased this bike, and when I did that, I was thinking, it's similar to when I started our company. I bought this scooter to make a point, that I can ride this instead of doing the rental car like everybody else is doing. I'm going to ride this scooter from Sarasota, Florida to Vermont. And I'm going to help all these nonprofit groups along the way for free. And the moment that I sat on this scooter was the first time that I had ever ridden on or driven a scooter, motorcycle, any kind of powered cycle. Now, 18 years ago, I was working for a nonprofit, and a community group got together, and we said, we need to do something about demolition because this high school in our community had been destroyed and nothing had been saved, even though there was a group of people willing to buy things from this school, not just take it, they were going to buy it, you know. And oh, there's no time and it's a liability and nobody, you know, has the tools or time, whatever, you know, and you certainly can't go in there because that would be unsafe, and therefore the building was destroyed. So the community groups, basically they said, what went wrong with that process and what are we going to do about it? And the solution was our store. We called it the Restore. That's really how we started our reuse business. We didn't have everything figured out in the beginning. We slowly built up, and we didn't have anybody to ask because 18 years ago there wasn't anybody in our area doing this kind of work. And you know, we survived and then we thrived after a while. And we started our store, we bought a truck, we started salvaging kitchen cabinet sets, you know, and then eventually, hey, we've got 3 employees, and we've got 4, and then we've got 40 employees you know. And we had 1 store, then we got 2 stores, and then we expanded both stores, and now we've got 50,000 square feet of stuff. So obviously,
this is in Bellingham?
Yeah, Bellingham and Seattle.
Okay. What's the growth been throughout the country of these? Have you followed that?
Right. Well, and I've definitely followed the growth of these businesses. You know, when we started, we felt like we were all alone. It turns out there were a number of businesses, you know, every few hundred miles apart or something. You'd see a reuse business, but now we've counted over 1,100, I think.
Wow.
When you create local jobs where people are taking things apart, you create local jobs where people are selling it. When you spend that money with those local folks, they keep that money and they spend it on something else locally. So you have that cycling around. And in small communities, it's really important to be watching out for each other. And anytime you can create jobs right here, that's great. You know, anytime you spend money outside the community, it's like you're leaking money, you know, and the community isn't better off for it.
Yeah.
The Gorilla Bar is like the #1 tool for our industry. I mean, that Gorilla Bars, sawzalls, and you have nail pickers. Well, this one isn't like that. It's like having 1 handle and 2 of those ends. And they are, instead of having a rod sticking out, the rod connects the 2. It has 2 prying handles. Now, what it's for is you're taking, let's say you're taking an outside deck apart, and you've got deck joists. Yeah, and it sits and it comes down and it rocks up like this, and it just rocks on top of the floor joist, and then it hits it, instead of just 1 bar head hitting, it hits
on each
both.
side.
The new nail kicker has 3. It has 3 rams, you know, the ram that comes out and hits the nail. There's 3 of them, and so 3 different diameters, like small, medium, and large. And so it's meant, you know, so as you do flooring, you've got 1, and as you would do framing, you'd have another. You know, you change the nose out with it, basically, you know, undo a couple of Allen screws, and then switch it out, and you got a new one on there. So now we would take tool set yellow and tool set red and tool set purple and keep them all separate, and because they weren't yours and they were belonged to the nonprofit, and people were held accountable for keeping track of them, you know. And if you had a purple tool and the yellow kit, then it was pretty obvious that, you know, send them back, right? Your warm drive circular saw. What it is it's just it has a different gear configuration that gives it a lot more strength. So it's a lot better for cutting through roofing and doesn't bog down. The new blade is Smartman Tools, smartmantools.com. It is a 5-tooth blade. Has anybody seen the movie Kroll, where he has that boomerang thing? Yeah. Well, that's where they got the idea, probably. So it's this nasty looking blade, and the carbide tips are about 3/4 of an inch long and about twice as thick.
And then they got the big raking area in between them, so they don't load up, so to speak.
And it blows stuff like it. You know, you have to almost have a face shield, not just glasses.
Chopper's helmet with a screen would be
Exactly.
great for that.
It's exactly. I don't hold back on any safety gear. I don't hold back because it's just any. I mean, I just look at it. It's going to pay for itself. I went too long.
Earmuffs out there. You got them, right?
Yeah, we get earmuffs
Yeah,
and
protection.
hard hats.
I'm thinking of yeah, the kind that mount to the
Yeah.
hard hats. You do that one.
No, we don't have the ones that mount to the hood.
Yeah, those they're yeah.
I like a chopper's helmet. You got your
Right.
earmuffs right on it. You can flip them up when you're not learning something loud.
Right.
You got your screen that comes down. They're not just good for chainsaw, but even a sawzall and stuff when you're cutting up.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Anything over your head.
because safety glasses, when it's hot and sweaty and they're close to your face, you know, they're steamed right up. You can't see, so you need to pull them away. Well, if you got them pulled away a little bit, they're not very
They're not doing
protective.
any good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to wear something that they felt comfortable wearing, like maybe style-wise or comfort-wise, because if they didn't wear them, then I give you the $1.99 version, and if you won't wear it because it looks dorky, that I don't agree with that, but I need you to wear them, so I'm going to spend more like the $8.99 or whatever, so you get one a better set, you know. But I'm not saying it's okay not to wear them, but there are certain things that I need, you know, that you just need to do. That I need you to wear them, and I'm going to make you wear them 100%. If you are a passenger in the truck and they back into the building, and you were sitting in the truck, you weren't there guiding them back, then you are in trouble and the driver is in trouble, because what did you do? I set a rule that you are not allowed to sit in the truck when the truck is backing up, you know, unless it's like, you know, just in traffic or something. And because you sat there on your can doing nothing, getting paid to do nothing, and your coworker drove into your coworker shouldn't have backed up without you out there, and you shouldn't have let him back out without being out there. And you know, another rule we had a lot of safety rules. We had an extensive safety program, and we worked in industrial facilities, and if you ever screwed up, they would ban you for life. You know, and I don't mean screw up on their job site. I mean screw up any job site, because they actually, before they let you on their site, they would track your insurance rating. They would look it up. Even though you might have had an accident a year ago on somebody else's residential job site, but if they find out about it, they may or may not let you on their facility. It's the kind with the 2,003 days without an accident, you know, and they do not want to break that string. So you know, that's what we got trained in on those kind of jobs, and then we'd go to a kitchen cabinet removal site. And half the crew would feel more comfortable wearing their orange vests and their hard hats, and you'd say, all I'm doing is removing a kitchen cabinet set, but they just felt comfortable wearing it. And when you get to a point where you're comfortable wearing it, then you wear it. And you don't worry about, like, oh, what will the other construction workers think, or something. That's ridiculous, you know.
It's a habit.
We do stuff. I have an 18-year perfect safety record. These businesses like Renew Salvage they're really important to the community, and it's really important that they're supported and that they survive, that they expand. Everything they do is good for the community.